Welcome to GTC's Teaching Tidbits Blackboard Ultra. In this series, each episode, we explore techniques, tips, practices, ideas to expand your knowledge of and comfort with using Blackboard Ultra. I'm joined today by Tracy Yeargin from the Curriculum and Instructional Support Center. Tracy is a new addition to the team over in CISC, now serving as a curriculum coordinator. Welcome, Tracy. And since this is your first Teaching Tidbits episode with us, will you take a moment just to introduce yourself?
Hi, yes, absolutely. I have been at the college. I was actually formerly known as Tracy Dragoo. Tracy Yeargin is just about a year old. So I was a transitional studies mathematics instructor and have been at the college since 2012 and just recently transitioned to faculty support in the CISC department. So happy to be here.
Great. We are so glad to have you over on our side of campus. Our departments work so closely together, and excited to have you also as that faculty support. That's what excited me about the position that I'm in, was being that support to faculty. So excited. Your reputation precedes you as an instructor. Now I'm making the connection, Tracy Dragoo. I'm like, wait, I know that name. So I'm excited to have you here for this episode. In our previous episode, Rebecca had given us a quick look at what's new in Ultra for April 2024, and we have put those monthly update episodes on a little summer vacation this summer. But Tracy is here with a special episode focused solely on summer 2024 updates to the Gradebook. And I know this is a big topic, especially for a lot of us in terms of questions and all of the updates that are coming. So Tracy, we're excited you're here to give us those updates. I will turn it over to you to share your teaching tidbits.
All right, thank you. Okay, so, and I would actually call these best practices based on what we have to work with in the gradebook. And as that changes, we'll just keep everybody updated for sure. You can see my screen. So we're going to be providing workshops this summer and one-on-one assistance for anyone who needs it for the either setting up your gradebook if it's not already set up, and then also some best practices. So the click on this. The reasons that we're doing this is there's a couple of things. We're making sure that our accreditation is good. So for SACS and whatever other accreditation we fall under, we want to make sure that our grade books are up to date and they are accurate. They also match our concourse syllabus, and we also want to make sure we're communicating accurate grades and feedback to students. So what was happening is there's some settings in Gradebook that are throwing some of the faculty off, and it's incorrectly communicating where we think we're doing it right and the wrong information is getting communicated. It's also you're able to fix it, but let's just see what this is so that you can kind of do some preventative measures. As far as the setup goes, if you're not set up, you'll probably be a little more full than this. You'll have students in your course, but the actual calculation won't be set up for them to see. So you would, and if you've got this purple book, that is an indicator that the grade book's not quite set up yet. You can click your set it up button, and I'm going to zoom in a little to show this. We are recommending right here. So there are some instructors that use points, but I think most of the syllabus, if you've got a syllabus that's weighted, we do need to set that up as weighted. So I'm going to click that one and next, and then it'll give you, these are template. This is a template of all of the categories that come kind of pre-built with Blackboard. So you want to make sure this part matches your concourse syllabus. And then I need to zoom back out a little bit, maybe. Yeah. Over here on the right, oops. If you can see, select how the overall grade is displayed. the drop down here, you've got some options and you think these are kind of cut and dry, but we want this to be percentage. Some people are showing the letter, and while that used to be okay, it's now not a best practice anymore because some of the letter categories or displays are set up with different point values. So to be safe, do it weighted and percentage and just leave that. We're also asking to keep this box checked next to show to students. Make sure the calculate grades box is checked as well. But coming back to this box, as much as possible, sometimes I know that instructors have to do some work behind the scenes, but make that as efficient as possible and make sure this is showing to students so that they are getting their up-to-date information throughout the semester so they can track their progress and make decisions based on the feedback that you're giving them. Okay, so the other thing we are finding is that sometimes the calculation that I sort of briefly showed that area with those weighted categories, it's not matching what's in the syllabus. This is the accreditation part. So typically your concourse syllabus will be set up by a department head, an APD, somebody like that. We are just tasked as instructors to make sure our gradebook matches. The calculation there matches whatever is in the syllabus. So here's just a screenshot. The grade breakdown is in the concourse syllabus. And this is where somebody has set this up for the course that we are all teaching, that whoever's teaching. And these percentages must match the same percentages in the grade book. We're finding that there are several where that's not the case. So this is what we're asking instructors to double check. And it really is very helpful if the category names match as well. So quiz, quizzes, test, tests, and so forth. That's one of the things, that's one of the areas that we're asking for you guys to check. Here's an example of one that's really mismatched, where you're thinking, well, the test is fine, that's 30%, but this person might have said, you know, I need to break these assignments up and do 15% here and 10% there. Well, that might cause the grade to calculate incorrectly and communicate the wrong thing to students. So we're asking that clean these up and make sure they match whatever that grade breakdown is. So if you need to add categories to match the names, if the names in Blackboard are not, so for specific programs, then you can go to I think this should be intuitive for you, and let me know if it's not. But in Blackboard, when you're in your gradebook, on the top right of the page, you'll see the gear icon, and then you can go scroll. After you open that, it'll give you a settings pane, and you can scroll down to add a new category and then format the name to match the syllabus. The other thing that we are noticing is at the end of the semester, often you may have to make some adjustments to the grades. And some instructors were typing over the overall grade in the grade column. This is the part where the students, they're getting this calculation. This should come straight from the weighted calculation that we just looked at. If somebody types over the grade in the overall grade column, it will bypass that calculation and it grays it out. We're asking instructors not to adjust the grades here, but you've got lots of places that you can adjust the grades. You can go to any specific assignment and adjust the grade. And if you need to document the reason, you can put that in the feedback. You can also go to a grade column. And again, I can't show this with student information, but at the top of the column, you can go into the assignment and adjust the grade. You can adjust the grade in the column and then go in to the student grade notes and put a note there to document if you need to. I hope that made sense. Okay, so that's it. I've got this QR code here too. If you are interested in meeting with somebody and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm a mess, I need to, I really want to go through this with somebody, please use this. It'll get you to a form where you can submit a ticket and somebody will get in touch with you. And I think that's all I've got.
Well, thank you so much, Tracy, for sharing that teaching tidbit, or as you referred to them, best practices today. I know as a faculty member, the gradebook in Blackboard was probably one of the most daunting things for me. And I remember more than one occasion where something went wrong and I could not figure it out. I had to contact CISC. Always put me on pins and needles trying to figure out and make sure that everything was accurate. So thank you for sharing that information. A couple of the big takeaways that I'm leaving the episode with. One, at the very beginning, I love that you used the phrase preventative measures. I think that will be so helpful that if we're doing just these tiny, very easy things from the setup, we will be able to lessen and maybe even eliminate some of these challenges that come up then later on or at the end of a semester for us and for our students, and just a great way to ensure students are always seeing the most accurate, up-to-date information. And then again, the takeaways. Always make sure that your gradebook in Blackboard matches the concourse syllabus. So even down to making sure that the category names match. And then again, the other big takeaway, always choose weighted and then choose to have the grade display as a percentage. Great helpful tips. As Tracy indicated, if you want to continue the conversation with Tracy or any member of CISC, please feel free to do so. I have Tracy's email here on the screen, tracy.yeargin@gvltec.edu. Of course, we also have Rebecca Roth, who is our Blackboard administrator and also a frequent guest on our episodes in this series. But one of the best ways is to submit a ticket. CISC has developed their own ticket system so that they can best make sure they are meeting your needs and connecting you with the right individual. So you will find a link not only to their LibGuide, I definitely recommend you check that out. That will be in the show notes underneath the episode. But then also we have a link specifically to that ticket so that if you want to go directly there and submit a ticket and get connected, you can do that. But that's probably one of the best ways for you to connect with them. Well, that's all we have for this episode. I'll put our QR code that Tracy shared earlier for that gradebook assistance for a gradebook workshop. If you want to snag that before we close, again, this will take you specifically to sign up for a further assistance with the gradebook. And again, as I said, that's all we have for this episode of GTC Teaching Tidbits Blackboard Ultra. We'll see you next time.